back to my channel. So today's video is all about oil and weight loss and fat. We're gonna talk oil, which is a fat, and will oil or consuming fat in any amount stall your weight loss? There's a lot of almost like mysticism out in the whole food plant-based community surrounding the topic of oil in regards to weight loss. And I hear from a lot of people that are terrified to even have a little bit for fear of gaining weight. I also see a lot of comments in the comment sections of my videos or my posts on Instagram from individuals that say, oh my gosh, I wish I could eat avocado, but if I have even a little bit, I gain weight. So we're gonna tackle that in this video. First things first, here's your reminder that my best-selling weight loss guide and cookbook, Plantifully Lean, is now available in stores. You guys are tagging me in your stories on Instagram, and you guys are finding it at Walmart. I think from what I understand, Target, at least online, is sold out right now, but it's at the Tattered Cover, at Barnes & Noble, and of course on Amazon. The best price I have seen is definitely at Walmart, and I think Amazon has also been putting it on sale as well. But this is basically the guide that I wrote that I wish I had had when I was on my 70-pound weight loss journey. I teach you everything you need to know in here about plate building, the principles of calorie density, and how to put your meals together. And of course, you get tons and tons of my most popular recipes. So if you don't already have a copy, now you know where you can get one. The other really exciting announcement that I have is that on May 23rd, Plantipalooza will be starting. And this is an 8-day long event that is being put on by my friends over at Complement. It's an 8-day online festival with an incredible lineup of plant-based doctors, registered dietitians, best-selling authors, weight loss experts, and thought leaders that are gonna be sharing all of their health strategies and tips. And throughout the event, they're gonna be giving you guys access to exclusive coupons for up to 50% off of things like their essential multivitamin, which is the one that you guys hear me talk about all the time that helped me reverse my hair loss. See that nice little bald patch? Yeah, this is the vegan supplement that changed my hair life. So since I am one of the headline speakers, they are offering my followers VIP access for free to the event. So I will leave that link for you guys below. You just have to go and register and get your VIP ticket. So with that ticket, you get immediate access to their plant-based toolkit that comes with nutrition guides, meal plans, tons of recipes, and you automatically get entered into their giveaways that are worth up to $1,500. So you don't want to miss it. Again, it starts May 23rd and it goes for 8 days. Use the link. It'll be completely free to you guys, and look out for those coupons because 50% off is huge. Like, this is like Black Friday type sales. So you want to make sure you grab those coupons. But I will have everything linked below for you guys. Okay, so does oil or consuming any amount of fat from nuts, seeds, or avocados stall weight loss? This is a really, really popular question that I get. And it's actually a question that I had at the beginning of my journey. So I can really relate to the questions that I'm seeing because I had the same concern. You know, if I grabbed some hot sauce, even though I was only putting a little bit on and it had oil in it, I didn't know if somehow it was gonna stop my weight loss. And I didn't want my weight loss to stop because I had been consistently losing weight when I switched to a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. So if you're new to me or to my channel, I lost 70 pounds in 14 months, switching from a standard American diet to a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. So I went from eating things like, you know, Taco Bell, chicken, salmon, just normal diet, but I always tried to eat as low carb as possible, and then switched to a high carbohydrate, plant-based diet that was low in fat, and I started losing weight immediately. Eating platefuls of spaghetti and baked potatoes, it was unreal. But I had the same concern when it came to oil because everything that I had been learning from these world-renowned medical doctors that were saying that, you know, oil is really not a health food, it's a highly processed food, leads to fatty liver and weight gain and all of these things. I was really terrified to be stalling my weight loss, especially as I started moving into those dreaded plateaus. So for the sake of today's video, I am not going to go into the specific health conditions like fatty liver disease or some of the other kind of liver issues that can make weight loss more difficult. I am just going to focus on weight loss 101. I was hypothyroid and I still lost 70 pounds with this way of eating. So does oil stall weight loss? The short answer is no. Oil by itself does not just magically stall weight loss. Neither does avocado, nuts, or seeds. but it can make it very difficult, if not impossible, to lose weight if you're not careful. And here's why. So first, let's talk about weight loss 101. In order to achieve weight loss, you have to create a calorie deficit. There's just no way around it. I lost 70 pounds because I was consuming less calories than I was burning. Now, the fun thing about how I lost weight is that I didn't have to count a single calorie because I used the principles of calorie density. I also used various plate building methods to help me create that calorie deficit while getting to eat platefuls of food and feel full for less calories, which led to my 70-pound weight loss that happened over 14 months, which I have now kept off for years. Now, I have tons of videos on my channel here teaching you guys about calorie density and plate building. I show you exactly what I did and how I did it. It's also all in my book in one place. I teach you about the principles of calorie density and the different plate building techniques, and you get 125 recipes that pull all those principles together. So you can get it all in one place in that book, and you can also scour the loads of videos that I have for you guys here on my channel. And of course, follow me on Instagram because I'm always sharing my tips, tricks, and recipes there as well. So I used these principles in conjunction with reducing my fat intake to help me lose weight without having to count calories. It was just another way of creating a consistent calorie deficit in order to help me lose weight. The other way you can make sure you're creating a consistent calorie deficit is the good old calorie counting. It is a very effective way for you to measure exactly what you're taking in so that you can see the numbers and create that deficit so that you can see weight loss. And I know lots of you guys count calories, which is why I include all of the calorie information in my recipes as well, because I am not one to sit here and tell you guys that calorie counting is ridiculous, it's unsustainable, you shouldn't do it. I personally know lots of people that have counted calories for 20 years and have done it well, and it gives them peace of mind because they know exactly what's going in so that they can maintain their weight where they want to. I also know a lot of people that dread counting calories and hate it, which I was one of those people. So using the plate building methods along with the principles of calorie density was the only way I was going to be able to lose weight. And what is so beautiful about this whole thing is that you can blend them both together and make a super effective program for yourself to lose weight, which is why I wrote my book the way I wrote it. So if you're not a calorie counter and don't want to be a calorie counter, rest assured you can still lose weight and not count calories just like I did. And if you're an individual that feels they need the structure of calorie counting, then continue to do that. And what's beautiful about that is when you apply the principles of calorie density to your calorie counting and use the plate building methods, you get to see how much more food you get to eat for less calories. Now, back to oil. So one of the biggest things that I did in order to help me create a consistent calorie deficit was to stop consuming so much oil and fat. I was used to sauteing all of my vegetables in tons of olive oil or grass-fed butter. I was just using tons of it. I was dousing my vegetables in it and roasting them, which was delicious, but resulted in me not being able to ever lose any weight despite eating and enjoying vegetables. Now, oil is the most calorie dense food on the planet. There is nothing else more concentrated in fat and calories than oil. And the thing about oil is that it is loaded with concentrated amounts of fat and calories, but lots of scientific research has shown that the consumption of oil does not trigger satiety in our brains. It does not lead to the overall feeling of satisfaction and satiation. It does not keep you fuller longer. It just literally adds calories that don't help tell your brain that it's full and it's had enough. And what I learned from prominent medical doctors like Dr. Neil Barnard, Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Michael Clapper, is that oil is not this nutritious food. Yeah, it does have some nutrition in it, but the nutrition value of it does not outweigh the fat and calories of it. Also, a lot of these industrial oils cause so much inflammation in the body that you just want to stay away from them in general as it is. You want to focus on getting your nutrition from whole, unprocessed foods. You can get tons of nutrition in moderate amounts of nuts, seeds, and avocados. And I am an avocado fiend. If I was stranded on an island and could only take one thing with me, I think it would be avocados. But here's the crazy thing. Because I had been cooking in so much oil and putting butter on my toast and using pasta sauces that had tons of oil in it, and I didn't even realize, and eating crackers that had oil in them, just the simple act of me no longer sauteing my vegetables in oil and just sauteing them in my pan with no oil or a little bit of water. You can even use a very light spray of oil if you need to. By doing that and being conscious of the products I was consuming and choosing low fat or fat free pasta sauce over the regular one I had been using and opting for oil free crackers, I immediately cut 300 to 500 calories a day from my diet, which is a lot of calories. If you cut 500 calories a day from your diet, at the end of 7 days, you will have lost 1 pound of fat. So where can you cut back on the calories from fat? Number one is to stop cooking in oil. Just stop. Your onions brown up perfectly with no oil in a good quality nonstick pan. You know, if you want to make some baked fries, but you really just don't enjoy them with no oil on them, just do a light spray. It's amazing how a little bit goes such a long way, and you're still saving on all of that fat and calories by not coating them in oil. The other place to cut oils out is in your baking. So when I make muffins, I no longer use butters or oils. I replace that with applesauce. And it's amazing because your baked goods still come out moist and fluffy. So swap applesauce for oil in your baked goods. The other place to pay attention for oils is in pasta sauces. Now this one just boggled my mind, and you guys have heard me talk about it before. So I was obsessed with this one brand of pasta sauce that shall remain unnamed, and a half a cup of that pasta sauce has 9 grams of fat, while another brand that tastes great as well only has 1.5 grams of fat in a half cup of sauce. And then of course you can pick up fat-free sauces, like I like the fat-free garlic one from Whole Foods, and that has no grams of fat. So you're saving on a ton of fat and calories. So pay attention to your sauces. Other place you want to cut out oils is your dressings. Now this one was a really hard one for me because I never liked salad unless it was covered, like smothered in ranch. And making any sort of other dressing without any oil just wasn't doing the trick for me, which is why I worked at it, and I developed low-fat, creamy, delicious ranch dressing, Thousand Island dressing, Caesar dressing, all the dressings that you guys go crazy over because they are so delicious and you don't feel deprived, you don't feel like you're missing anything, and they're low in fat. And I put all of my most popular, most delicious dressings in my book for you guys. This is the ranch dressing that is so good. It's like Texas Roadhouse good, in my opinion. And you guys tell me all the time how much you love my dressings. So again, if you're not following me here or on Instagram, make sure you follow me. Check out my book, always sharing new recipes and showing you guys how to lighten your favorite foods up. And go to the store, thumb through my book, check it out. I'm a comfort food girl. I need things to taste yummy and decadent, they need to taste a little naughty. Otherwise, I was not gonna be able to sustain this lifestyle change long-term, which is why I developed all of these recipes. So if you can put a little effort into making sure you set yourself up and really pay attention to the fat content of food, you can eliminate calories for free. And when you're just getting rid of these calories, you're creating more of a calorie deficit without extreme amounts of efforts. You didn't have to go run stairs or get on that horrible Stairmaster to create a calorie deficit. All you did was cut out oil and start watching your fat intake. So when people ask me if I have hot sauce that has oil in it, will that stall my weight loss? My response is always no. It won't. You're having what? Like a teaspoon of hot sauce. It may have 5 calories, maybe 10. That is not gonna stall your weight loss. It's not gonna make you gain weight. What will stall your weight loss is, the going out to eat and having all of the restaurant food that is just covered in oil or deep fried. The not cutting back on oil in the use of your own cooking will sabotage your weight loss results for sure. Now, if you're tracking your calorie intake and you're measuring everything, then you can see, okay, I don't have room to have French fries or to eat an entire avocado. I'm going to eat a quarter of an avocado. But when you're trying to use the plate building methods and the principles of calorie density, that is why I teach you guys how to eat according to those principles so that you can naturally create those deficits, eat tons and tons of food, and lose weight at the same time, which includes omitting the use of oil as much as possible and enjoying nuts, seeds, and avocados in moderation. So it really isn't a question of, is there something, diabolical about avocados or nuts and seeds or oil that is gonna make you not be able to lose weight? And the answer is no. They're high in fat, high in calories. They're easy to overconsume. It can be a slippery slope. And that's why, you have to be a little bit more targeted in your approach to incorporating those foods in your diet. Now, when it comes to oil, oil for me is not a health food. I do use a light spray of oil because I do like things to get crispy in the oven. It's how I enjoy food more, but I don't cook in oil. I don't put it in my baking. I don't eat fried foods because I haven't consumed lots of oil in years, so it really upsets my stomach. But I love avocado, and I will eat maybe like a quarter to a half an avocado a day. And my dressings have nuts in them. If you have a nut allergy, you can swap them out for hemp seeds, which are full of nutrition. So I am getting my nuts and seeds and avocados in there, but in a moderate way. I'm not out here making avocado fries and dipping those in ranch. I'm making nice, big, delicious, low-calorie salads with my ranch on top and some diced avocado on it. So the moral of the story is, will eating a little bit of avocado cause you to gain weight? No. It's the overconsumption of calories, which can come from consuming too much fat, that leads to weight gain. Now, the thing to remember about fat is that your body doesn't convert it to store it. So when you consume fat, your body stores it straight into your fat cells as fat. It's a storage hormone. When you eat carbohydrates, your body has to break those down and convert them to sugars to use for energy. And it actually takes more calories to use carbohydrates than it does fat, because carbohydrates have to be converted for energy, whereas fat just gets stored as fat. So now the last question I want to address when it comes to fat that I hear a lot from is that people want to know, how much fat can they eat and still lose weight? And that is something that I can't give you a firm number or measurement for, because everybody is so different. Another female who is 5'11" is going to need a lot more calories than somebody who is petite like me is going to need. So they're going to have more room to play with when it comes to how they want to spend their calories for the day. How active you are, your gender, your age, lots of things go into determining how many calories you can have overall. So when you're talking about specifically how much fat you can take in, that's something that you really have to play with. Now, for the purpose of weight loss, that is why it's a good idea to cut back on it and use them more as toppings versus like major players in your meal. So don't have like an avocado burrito, have some avocado on your burrito, if you know what I mean. I get asked a lot if I put the nuts in my cheese sauce during weight loss, and I did, because in that whole 32 ounces of cheese sauce that the recipe makes, there's only a half a cup of cashews in there, and you can even half that, which I did a lot of times, into a quarter cup, and it still gives it creaminess, and you've just reduced the calories even more. But that whole jar makes tons of servings that feeds my family of 4 throughout the week. So don't be afraid to put my ranch dressing on your salad or to put my cheese sauce on your broccoli. You want to be more concerned about eating fried foods, cooking in oil, nut butters, which have tons and tons of fat and calories. And of course, you want to stay away from processed foods that have tons of calories in them. But I will tell you that for me, because I don't want to count calories and I do want to maintain my weight loss, that I am moderate about my fat intake. I don't eat more than a quarter to maybe half of an avocado a day, and I have ranch dressing or cheese sauce most days, and I have been just fine. Whereas someone like my husband seems to be able to eat all of the ranch, cheese sauce, and avocados that his heart desires, and fries when we go out to eat, and he doesn't gain weight. But I hope that helps you out, helps you realize there's nothing nefarious going on when it comes to, your little bit of hot sauce that has some oil in it, or having, 2 slices of avocado on your burrito or whatever. It's more about your overall caloric intake. So as long as you are following either tracking your calories or following the plate building methods that I teach you along with the principles of calorie density, and you're being consistent with that, then you're gonna be okay. Also, all of the recipes that I share with you guys, especially the ones in the book, they're formulated for weight loss. Now, again, you have to adjust those to your personal needs. If you are an athlete or very tall and very active, you're gonna need more calories. If you are 5 feet tall, not super active, you're gonna have to adjust that way down to your body's needs as well, because you're just a smaller person and it takes less to keep you alive and running. It really is about the overall picture. Like I said, you wanna make sure you're using that 50-50 plate, eating loads of fresh fruits and vegetables, and then focusing on wholesome starches like potatoes, rice, beans, corn, quinoa, whatever you like, putting your desired sauces on them and enjoying your meal. Be consistent with that and you will do a great job. All right, I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Remember always to keep this journey about health and not just about the skinny. Remember to love yourselves and spread that love to somebody else. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.